Okay, so here we are. For day 11, so the 11th day. So the last 10 sessions we've done, we've been covering, or I covered the 10 key points of coaching, which I shall briefly go over. A few people have asked me questions about them, so I shall just bring up the the board. It's getting a bit cheesy now. So we looked at the 10 aspects of the 10 key points of coaching, and the reason I bring it up today is because we've been through them. That's been done, but these are not only for freediving. These apply to anything you want to do. So it's interesting that Freya has been doing some origami, sitting at home with some mindfulness and origami, and I found myself saying the same things to her from these 10 key points, and she's just playing with origami, but the same things are the same, that she's got to challenge herself and that she's going to fail to make a rabbit or whatever the creature she was making, and every time she does it she's going to get better due to feedback, so it's really interesting that literally in the house, I just went into her room, started chatting to her, and I found myself going through these key points, so that they do relate to everything. If we want to progress, at this point I do believe I've got to show you this. It's an origami shark. Sweet. Anyway, I found that on my desk this morning. Okay, so from a point of view of freediving, we have the schedule. So the training schedule, which anybody who's done a one-to-one with me, and if you've done a non-specific one-to-one with Julian or Marco, you might have had one as well. And this is our a training schedule. So it starts with the diagram of the 10 aspects, and then it just goes on to describe the aspects. So mental before, mental during, and it just goes through explaining what we've been doing in the last 10 days. But I wanted to bring to the session tonight, I wanted to bring the first few pages of this training schedule, just to bring people up to kind of speed with some of the other areas of the training. So I have said it before, and I've said it on this live feed, you've got to buy a diary. You've got to buy a diary or print a diary and make notes about every session you do. It's very, very simple. Just make some notes, and at first it might feel a bit awkward, or you don't quite know what to write, but very quickly it will become second nature, and you start kind of just writing quite easily. And when you look back at your diary, that's when you're going to learn stuff. So as with everything, there's the three A's. So there's the awareness of what's happening, then there's the acknowledgement of it, and then there's the adaptation. And it's the same with a diary. So you have to be aware of what's happening. So you have to be aware of whether the session's good, bad, or what's happening, in whether there's a TV on, or whether you were distracted by the cat or something. So that's the awareness. Then there's the acknowledgement, and that's just writing it down. And you write it down in a diary without emotion. So you just say what happened. This session was hard, this session was easy, the cat jumped on me, the TV was on, the TV was off. Just facts, just write it down, acknowledging what happened. And then You can look back on your diary, especially at these times where we are in very specific situations at home, that we look back through the diary, and you'll start seeing some patterns, and you'll start seeing things that over a spread that you won't have noticed in a one-off session. So the other thing is, there's so much you'll forget without a diary. So as soon as you've got a diary, you can look back on last Tuesday's session for sake of argument, and you'll just look it up and go, oh yeah, I did this, and that seemed to work. I changed my position, I sat in a different room, whatever, and it worked, and you will have forgotten that, or you might have forgotten it. So looking back through the diary. Okay, so then the next thing you need to do is print out a weekly timetable. Now, it's going to be obviously a unique timetable for lockdown. That's not a problem. Just put 7 days on it, and just put down what you're currently doing. Now, usually I'd say if you're going to a session, then you'd put that, Tuesday session, Tuesday tonight. You'd go to Kensington, or you'd be going to Brighton or Leatherhead, and you'd put it down. But obviously that they're not on, so we've got to create a new training timetable. So write down all the days and just put in what you're doing. Okay. Sometimes it's really obvious. Other times you might have to kind of think a little bit, but just put something in for every day, and then try and stick to it. Okay. So we've been through enough exercises now. If you want some more exercises, that's fine. Try and cover the 10 aspects. So try and do a little bit of meditation, a little bit of specific, and if it's non-stressful, you can do more than one session in a day. Especially if you're listening to the live stream, which obviously you are if you're hearing me say this. If you're listening to the live stream, you can put that down as one of the things, but it's obviously not stressful, so you can put in actually training exercises on top of this. Okay? So you can put up to 3 things, maybe a theory, maybe a breath hold, and maybe an activity. Okay, every day you can do that, and try and stick to it. Going back to what we did yesterday, have a think about achievability of these things, and whether you can put a more challenging version on each day, and a slightly less challenging version on every day. So if you do get some work in, or something you're running out of time, you're still going to do your training, you're still going to do a breath hold, but maybe you could do a lazy table as opposed to a crazy table, because lazy tables only take 4 or 5 minutes, or maximum of 10 minutes. So every day put something in, and have that achievability that I mentioned yesterday, an extra challenge and a less challenge. Okay, so that's your schedule for the week, and give it a go. Please write some comments when this goes up live in the comments about how you felt. How you felt it fit together. If there's anything missing, then obviously message me, ask if there's an aspect that you're having trouble putting in, and we can always message you and give you that. Let's have a look at the time. So the next thing you can do, and I've got this as a PDF, so I can send it out to you. Okay. Hopefully you can see this, is a personal diagnostic. Okay, so it's very, very simple. Okay, the personal diagnostic here, you literally write down the 10 aspects of training, and you give yourself a current level and a current training and some comments. So really, really straightforward. Again, it's honest, there's no emotion to it. Try not to use numbers, but try and describe your level. Now, it doesn't matter what the level is, and I say to people when they do the sessions, if in that current level you can put if you don't know what it is, if you don't know what that aspect is, then in the current level, you just write, don't know what it is. Current training, none, because I don't know what it is. Comments, I should really find it out. Then on the other side of the page, you have objectives. So I'm going to suggest in the book, it's 3-month objectives, but I'm going to suggest that you just have 1 week objectives. Okay, and it's very, very simple. You have, where are we? So objectives, training plan, and again comments. Okay, so very, very simple. Objective, if you didn't know what the aspect was, in the first column, with your current training, you're not doing any. The objective would be find out what it is, work out and exercise. Okay, very, very simple. And you can do this week by week. Okay. So each of the 10 aspects, what you feel your current level is in a descriptive kind of form, and your current training, which exercises you're doing, and then moving on, your objectives, your week objectives. So where you want to take that to. So if it's physical cardiovascular cardio work, and you might say it's a slow jog around the park, okay, and you can do you can do it in 20 minutes. Then your objective might be to step it up a little bit and do it twice in 40 minutes, or do it in 15 minutes, or whatever it is. Okay, obviously there's a time there, but it's fairly irrelevant because of the nature of it's your park and you know which route you take. Right. But again, have an objective, that's achievable. Right. And so when you've done that, you can go back to your training that you've written out, your list of things you're going to do for the week, your daily routine, and just make sure that you're kind of touching all the aspects. So every day you can do 3 things. Doesn't take much time to do them, 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, and then the evening theory session with the live stream, for sake of argument. And just see, are you just go through them and just mentally tick off that you're doing something off each of the exercises. So if you're doing 3 in a day, so there'll be 2 that you're choosing, and then obviously the live stream, so you'll be doing the 2 a day. That's 14 in the week. So you should have plenty of opportunity to touch on each of the 10 aspects. Okay, I can send you a PDF of any of those diagrams. If you've done the foundation course, that diagram right at the beginning there is in the front of the foundation course booklet. I'll hold it up there so you can screenshot it if you want. Oh, can I get it in shot? Okay. And I can PDF it and send it across as well. Okay, so it's going to be a slightly shorter session today, but we're going to move on with, because it's Leatherheads tonight, Julian has produced a video for you. So this is Jackanory. Some of you may have already done it in the club sessions. We haven't done it in Kensington for a while. In fact, I don't think we've ever done it in Kensington, so it'll be fun. If you went on Facebook, you might have downloaded a PDF of Treasure Island. You don't need it for tonight. You can just join in. Effectively tonight, if you're just going to join in, it's just 4 holds, and so you just do it with the timing and whatever you can make, what you can fill. We've had a couple of comments about how difficult the exercises are. Don't forget, this is these live streams are going out to different people all around the world, and at different levels. So don't try and kind of really force yourself to do the whole thing. Just give it a go, see how it feels, and then you can set up your own schedule based on these exercises. So don't take the numbers for absolute. This is what it has to be this long. These are just general numbers to give you a rough idea where you're at. So for instance, the zany tables where you're walking, we say maybe 12, 15 paces. If you can do 8, then that's fine, do 8. Pick your level where the challenge starts. If you're doing 25, that's fine, do 25. Okay, but we've got to give you some sort of idea where to start, or where we're at. Okay, so again, with this Jackanory, give it a go. If you don't make the holds, that's fine. Just keep your eyes half closed or closed, and then join in with the next hold. So without further ado, this is a guided exercise by Julian.
Today's exercise is called Jackanory and involves reading a story whilst holding your breath. It's best done in a group of people. One person holds their breath full lung and reads from the book, whilst everybody else holds their breath empty lung and tries to hold their breath for as long as the speaker continues to speak. Once it's finished, you simply hand the book to the next person and repeat. So, with the aid of modern technology, we're going to have a go at demonstrating. If we're all sitting comfortably, then I'll begin. Squire Trelawney, Dr. Livesey and the rest of these gentlemen